What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I did something a little different. I actually put a slideshow together of my family tree. Back when I did my Ancestry DNA results last year, I took advantage of their 14-day trial where you could go through their records and put together your family tree. Now, unfortunately for me, since my family was all in DR up to this point, I couldn't really find much information on my family at all. I was able to find some records on my parents and one of my grandparents that lived in the US for some time, but that was pretty much it. So I basically had to, dig around, ask different family members information, and I kind of put together my own family tree, but on the Ancestry website. So yeah, if you guys would like to see my family tree, I didn't get too far back. The furthest back I got was my both of my great-grandparents on my mom's side. I don't know the names of any of my great-grandparents on my dad's side. But either way, if you guys would like to see my family tree, just keep on watching.
Alright guys, so we're going to be starting with my immediate family. So this here is my little unit. This here was me when I was 4 or 5 years old. And these are my two beautiful daughters, Aaliyah and Anaya. My daughters are a quarter Panamanian, which is why my oldest daughter was wearing a Panama hat there. And this was their father with my oldest daughter, Aaliyah. So moving up the family tree, these are my parents. Some of you have already seen pictures of them before. This was them before they left the arts to come to the United States. This was them in the early 90s. This here is a picture of my dad in his early 20s, I believe. And this is him in the 70s. My dad had a huge afro, much bigger than that. And this was him in the 80s. This here is an old picture of my mom before she came here. This was her in the 70s, I believe. And this was her with her long hair. I've always loved her hair. This is another picture of her when she was young. And then this is her now. So next we have my sister and her husband. This picture was me and her in DR, and this is her hubby, Eladio, who she found in DR and brought him back over here. They did have a daughter who unfortunately passed away, but God did bless them with two beautiful twin boys earlier this year. So their daughter's name was Leilani, and their twins are Caleb and Kalel. Okay, so we're first going to start with my dad's side of the family. These are his parents, Mariano and Francisca. His mom passed away, but his dad is still alive. So this was with his mom in Santo Domingo. And this is actually a very old picture of her and my two aunts and one of my uncles. And this is my grandfather, one of the most energetic 90-year-olds I know. So this is how the family tree looks on the Ancestry website, but there's way too many people. So here are just some pictures of my dad with his siblings. So those are half of the brothers there with their mom. This is him with his parents, my sister and my cousin. This is him with two of his younger brothers. This is another picture of some of the brothers and the sisters. And these are three of the sisters. Now for my mom's side of the family, I'm going to break it down between her mother's side and her father's side. She actually doesn't have any full-blooded siblings. So I'm going to start off with her father and my grandmother. Those are the two of them. Now my grandfather, his parents were Spaniards and they moved to the Dominican Republic and had him and his siblings there. So the pictures we have of him are really these painting style pictures. And then this is my grandmother, and apparently that's me she's holding in that picture. This is her again. And this was one of her last pictures before she passed away. Now this person right here I found through the Ancestry website, and it links us as cousins, and we found out that both of our grandfathers were brothers. So this is her grandfather, who was my grandfather's brother, and this was a picture of him when he was young. And I was also able to find out my great-grandparents' names right there. So that was pretty cool. And I also found out the names of my grandfather's brothers and sisters. My grandfather had children with 3 women, the first being Felipa Laura, who I don't have a picture of, but these are his kids that he had with his first wife. So these are my aunts on the side, my cousin in the middle. This is my aunt again. And this is another one of my aunts. Now this here was my grandfather's third wife and who he had the rest of his kids with. So as y'all can see, my grandfather was down with the swirl. So these are my other aunts who came from that marriage, as well as some of my uncles. And this is them. These are my aunts and uncles with, you know, their mom. She's kind of been always like a third grandmother to me. So my aunt and uncle, another aunts, and another one of my aunts from that union. Now onto my mom's side, I was able to meet my great grandmother Cristina, who I'm actually named after. So those were her parents. I remember her being this super skinny woman that smoked out of a pipe. You know, she lived in the campo where, you know, all my family originated. And these are my grandmother's siblings. Most of them are actually still alive. And then she ended up having the rest of her children with her husband, Jesus. And then this was how my family tree looked on Ancestry, but I didn't put all the pictures. So this is my mom with her siblings from her mother's side of the family. So that's her with one of her brothers and her sisters. That's her with the oldest brother in that side of the family. That's my grandma and my uncle. This is them again with one of my little cousins. This is my uncle when he was young. This is an aunt of mine that actually lives here in New York. And this is another aunt that still lives in DR. So as y'all can imagine, I have a ton of cousins. So I'm just going to show you guys some quick pictures of who they are. And again, these cousins right here, these are all from my father's side of the family. And now here are pictures from my mom's side of the family. So as y'all can see, my family, we're all very different looking. We have some, you know, that are more, you know, lighter skins, have more European features. And then we have those that are very dark, that look a lot more African. So yeah, we're a very diverse group of people, but you know, we all have a lot of love for each other.
So that was it for this video, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And by the way, if any of you out there happen to like, you know, colorful, bright, sparkly, glittery makeup looks, I did do a tutorial for this look. It is my previous video. And if you're new to my channel, I do a little bit of everything. I do a lot of makeup videos and tutorials. I do chatty videos where I speak on certain subjects. I do videos related to my Dominican culture, and I do vlogs here and there. So yeah, check them all out. I have everything organized in a playlist for you guys. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!